Yes, we are back at it. We are back at it. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. I am sending requests out to a few people. Thank you for the likes and the loves. Yeah, y'all know I don't sometimes my butt need to be going to sleep, but I love having these conversations because I don't like watching people get spiritually bullied or just bullied by other people's beliefs. So I will immediately make a live to cut that bullying right on out. I play no games.
I was gonna say we end up doing this all the time. You do know that.
I do this all the time. I play no games. Listen, the moment that I see people bullying people in other lives, I be like, oh, okay. Mhm. Conversation time.
It happens to me so much that I don't even pay no attention to it anymore. Like I've had like so many things said to me because I oppose the beliefs, and you know what? It's just something that I have to deal with, I guess. But if I
Listen,
get through to one person, it's worth it, I guess.
Deidre, when I was in this other live with this Christian who only believes what he believes because of the Bible and because of his experience, right? Earlier today, I joined in with I met another agnostic, Justin. I don't know if you know him. Um, but I met
Yeah.
yeah, I met him earlier on the app with God versus the People. And in that conversation, the Christian that came in there and said, "You left Christianity. When did you let the devil get to you?" That's the
Oh
first
my
thing he said.
gosh.
Then the last conversation that I was in, everyone in the comments was like, oh, she's so hurt. Look at her. Look at that smirk on her face. Oh,
Cece,
she's of the devil. Her energy is off. And so I like to have these conversations because I want people to realize that it's okay to have a different belief system or the lack thereof of a belief system. And we should still all be able to somewhat get along without bullying people.
Yeah. I get told a lot in
100%.
Christian life when I say that I'm an atheist. They will tell me that I'm not an atheist, that I'm actually a Satanist. That, as in, like, I believe in worship the devil.
Horrible, horrible.
I mean, I'm sure he's not that bad once you get to know him.
Before I ever met them on this app, I learned about a month or two ago that Satanists don't even believe in Satan. And so in my last live where I had over 100 people or so there, I actually had them read the my Satanist buddies. I had them read their texts, their rules and their belief system. None of it had to do with following Satan. They use the word Satan as an opposer. Okay, so as the basically a word of rebellion. They don't believe in Satan or God. They believe in a system on how you treat people.
So, but the etymology is still back to Satan, though, right?
Mm-mm. No,
No,
no, not at all.
No?
there is
no.
No.
one specific Satanist so-called religion that actually,
Luciferians,
thank you,
they believe,
Luciferians. They
yeah,
believe
they
in.
believe that Lucifer is the true one. That he was wrongfully kicked out, and they believe that he is the morning star.
Who's this?
Lucifer.
Yeah, it's Luciferian. Um, is what they're called,
Right.
Luciferians.
Hi, I am. You are back, sweetie. Could you tell us, finish telling us how you felt? And I think there was a question that it was either Kat or Deidre asked you.
Yeah, I was
Right.
just wondering if he was talking about pantheism, but I don't think he is. He said no.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So I am that I am, and I do not subscribe to any sort of belief system. I just believe in the reality of that which is. So I just believe in my awareness of that which is, and that which is what I see as reality.
Okay.
So I'm not bothered by people's belief systems. I'm actually neutral. I practice what is called neutrality or non-conformism. So
Hmm.
you can call me a nun if you want
Like
to give me a
Gnostic?
list.
Are you Gnostic?
So I do not identify with any of those labels either.
Okay, because
I'm
kind of what you're
non-binary. I'm
sounding like
basically
is
just neutral.
Gnosticism, which is not to be confused with being agnostic. It's different, but I understand with the no label. Yeah,
Hmm.
Gnostic.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
So if so basically instead of thinking outside the box, I think outside the branch because I see myself as a tree of knowledge that branches out into different facets of existence. But in my exploration, I see only that which is as that which is, and that is what I see as truth. So I see myself as complete. Everything that I need is well within me. So I do not require a belief in a God or in an identify with anything like agnostic or theist or atheist. I'm basically a none. I'm ones and zeros. I'm basically DNA. I'm just information.
Hmm.
I respect that.
I respect that. I have met a couple of people who, and even seen people in some of the stars and stuff who believe like that. I believe it was one of them was Oprah who was teaching people like that. Um, is there
Yeah, and
any?
it's funny that you mentioned that because Oprah is actually Gnostic. She believes in Gnosticism.
Okay, okay. I didn't know what she was,
Yeah.
but I remember her teaching people on like I am. Um, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Um, and what is the other thing? Oh, I'm sorry, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, pass.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, thank you for joining, sweetie.
Hello.
Thank you. I was going across and this live just kept popping up. And it's actually crazy because I was just telling my daughter, I said, I think I'm going to join. I said, but I don't know. But it's just funny to hear. And when I say funny, I'm not being, please don't take it disrespectful. It's just so surreal to hear so many different beliefs because I'm 42 years old. I grew up in the South, so anyone from the South know it's very deep Christianity. Like this is the only belief you have to go by. And
Hmm.
for so many years, that's all I knew was the Bible was there's one God, you that's it. It's a heaven, it's a hell. If you don't live right, you're going to hell. Since then, I would say for the past couple of years, and really a lot this year, I have been going through like a spiritual awakening to where I'm starting to question everything that I was taught, everything that I believe in. So just hearing you all talk, it makes me think, and it's actually helping me and enlightening me because I'm at the point now to where I'm like, you know what? I know I'm a spiritual being. I know there's a higher and a divine power, whatever that may be. I
Hmm.
can't say,
Of course.
but I know there's guarantees in life, and this is even what I preach to my kids. Like I don't press my kids like you have to be Christian. Just know there's a higher power. Whatever you believe in, or you choose to believe in, study that. Um, I believe again, like I said, there's a higher power. There's a divine power. I believe that within me, in my thought process, in what I'm dealing with now, I know I was created for something higher. Whoever created me, whatever created us, I just know it's something higher.
Hmm.
Because in life, you have choices. We all have choices to where if something is right for you to do or something is wrong for you to do. And I think I don't know if it was Deidre or Katz that hit on that with what they believe in, but it's so true. We pretty much all think the same way, believe the same way, just in different steps in different forms. um there's no right way, there is no wrong way. It all boils down to you as an individual. Can't nobody judge you. Can't nobody tell you, well, this is the correct way to be. You know for yourself. You definitely know for yourself what you're dealing with, what you're going through, what you need to do, what you don't want to do. The only guarantee we all have in life is the guarantee of death. And
That's
even
it.
when we die, that is just a physical form. It's not what is within you, it's not your spirit. Because when you think about it, we are all pretty much just energy anyway. Everything we do in life, we have to use energy to do it, whether it's good energy, bad energy, or whatever. So we're all really are just a community of people.
Okay, okay.
Respect.
Thank you, respect. I thank you for coming in with your belief system and telling how you feel. It's beautiful, and this is why I have these kind of lives because I used to scroll on here even before. The only thing that I used to do on this app was I did my tarot readings for people that needed help, right? Part of me being a spiritual life coach, I use that. I don't even have to use cards. I'm a natural seer. That's just me. Whether anyone believes in my gift or not, it tends to show itself, right? But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, one of the reasons why I started doing the conversations was I was noticing that people would get bullied on this app quite oftenly for their belief system. And I think it's improper to bully someone for the way that they believe and
Exactly.
automatically jump with the, Jesus Christ is the only one true way. You'll learn
Exactly.
you're a lost soul. You're this, you're that. So many people across the world don't even know about Christianity. So many people don't even know about other religions. We only know about these things because of the internet, because someone has done some research and they've chose to walk a specific path. Literally right now, if I wanted to, I could build collectively different into a goddamn on religion. And that would be another
Exactly.
religion on the neck on top of the 4,000 that's out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Dude, I've been literally trying to do that.
And I say that to say this. You first need to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, how do you know what you want to, or how do you know that if someone is telling you to believe in something, you fall for it? Know yourself.
Yeah,
Study
I
what you
really
love.
like that point that you're making. Is it Donatella?
Yeah, it's Donna. You can call me Donna.
Okay, Donna. So I believe entirely different than you. I'm atheist, but I like the part that with your you don't have to believe basically just because someone told you to. I think that's really powerful, especially for women. I found that like in especially the way that I grew up, that it was really oppressive, and that for women, and that I was taught that women were less than, and I didn't even know that I had the ability to critically think the way that I do. And so it was very powerful when I learned that just because somebody tells me that it's true, I don't have to believe that, and I can learn for myself and I can use logic. I don't have to accept something just because someone says it's so. And I found that to be so empowering as a woman, to know that I could learn my own truth.
Exactly. And like with me, I have 5 children. I have a daughter now who is actually studying IFA. I didn't know what it Ephron. I'm sorry, E5.
Okay.
See, I still can't even pronounce it. I didn't know what it was, but I preach this. I tell this to my children all the time. There is something higher, but it's up to you to find out what that higher is or who that higher person is, what you choose to believe in. Because at the end of the day, we're going to die alone. We go through our most troubling times. Although people are physically there, within the spirit, we deal with it by ourselves.
I
So,
actually love that you do that, Donatella, because I do that with my kids. Now, all 58 people who are here, that's extremely important what you're doing. You're allowing your children to have individuality. You're not indoctrinating them based off of a previous belief system. You're not forcing them to learn something because you learned something. I even told my children they like to be, incorporated in my spiritualism where I meditate, I collect crystals, I do, what I do certain things that works for me, not something that someone told me to do, but something I researched over the last 8 years that I found works for me. I've researched many different things. But in the midst of them learning certain things with me, when we sit down and meditate, I tell them, I say, listen, you don't have to follow my path. If you want to follow your donor's path of Christianity, you can follow that. If you want to follow, anything else, all the way up to Satanism, you can follow that. If you don't want to follow anything at all, you can also do that. And I allow my children to have the ability to have that individuality and not go based off of just what someone says. And I think
And
that's
I
extremely
love that.
important.
It is, and I love that. And it's funny that you say that you love the crystals, because like I said, I have 5 kids. So my 15-year-old, she's into the crystals. She's into reading energy. She's into all of that.
My
So
daughter likes the crystals too.
yeah, I have kids that are everywhere. She can pretty much tell you what the crystals do, break them down for you. So I give them that freedom, because who am I to tell them that you have to believe in what I believe in?
Well, you're and I think that's really important. I was on a podcast today and I talked about this very same thing. Children, I've done a lot of research on child religious indoctrination, and it's very harmful. And it inhibits a child from developing critically. And children that are raised to be religiously indoctrinated, they grow up to think in black and white and lack empathy. So it's a great gift that you're giving your children, the ability to be able to discern logic and truth for themselves. That is a wonderful thing that we have the ability to, and it should not be inhibited.
And you are so right. That is such a blessing, because it has blessed me and my children from when they were younger to where they are now. We are able to have conversations surrounding what they believe in. They feel comfortable to come to me, and all they have to say, if it's something they think I won't like, is, Mom, we need to have a very uncomfortable conversation. And automatically that lets me know that they want to talk about something deep, and they need me not to judge them. They don't need me to put what I want them to do on them. So again, it's just, we're all from the same community. No matter what you believe in, what you don't believe in, we have to think about it like this. There is something higher. Whatever or whoever it may be, we may never know until we are put in the dirt and our spirits leave our bodies. But at the end of the day, we need conversations like this, because if we have more conversations like this and everyone can come together and just accept everyone, imagine where we will be as a people, as a country.
And
Yeah,
what
and
you're
I
saying
believe a
right there,
little different.
go ahead.
I do
Go
not
ahead.
believe that there's a higher, but I respect what you believe, but I do not believe that there's a higher thing, and I do not believe in a soul.
No.
And I respect that.
And see,
Miss
see,
Donna,
see,
I would like to say,
see how
I'm sorry,
beautiful that
sister.
was. Oh, go ahead, Cat. My bad. Did y'all see how beautiful
Oh,
that
you're okay.
was? Hold on. Deidre doesn't believe in anything. Donatella, Donatella,
You can say
Yeah,
Donna.
Donna,
Donna.
Donna believes in a higher power, right? But did you see how both of them said, "I respect that"? Instead of Donna going back to say, but there is a higher power, but there is a higher power, and trying to give her whatever reason that she feels believe that there is. Do you see how that did not happen? We're sharing
Yeah,
our
because
different
look,
belief systems and experiences and accepting it. And if we can get to the point of doing this with these religions and spiritual belief systems, maybe we can get to the point of racism calming down, because some of these belief systems have caused some of the racism. But
I
that's me.
think I think that
Exactly.
Christianity has is well, not think it has been used as a tool for racism. It has been used to justify. And the thing is also speaking on indoctrination. Just really quickly too is when you are indoctrinated, you are told that this is the truth, and anything outside of that opposes it. It is a reaction of brainwashing to have a fear or anger towards that. And so that has caused bigotry being indoctrinated, and it has caused racism being indoctrinated like that.
Exactly. Kat, you were getting ready to say something. I'm sorry,
Oh
sweetie.
no, I just wanted to say, Miss Donna, I appreciate you. hearing what was being presented to you, to come on the platform to speak out your truth, to also speak on your children, because I have a son that, well, let me start. I was raised in a Christian home, and I was basically forced into certain aspects of that. I was also, there were some traumatic situations with that. But what I have found as a mother, and what I had wished that I had received in my home, is that we're not going to my son doesn't necessarily agree with everything that I believe in, and he is still learning and finding his education on himself. So having those clear communications, and our phrase is, "Mom, real talk." That means I'm gonna shut up and he's gonna do real talk with me, and then he's gonna let me know when he's done to get my input on it as guidance or thoughts.
And that's beautiful. You have to create a safe place for your children to be able to come and talk to you about things like that. Because if you don't just want them out there talking to anyone who can force them to believe, well, this is what you should believe, or what you're being taught is not correct.
Hold on, Donna. Let me explain something to someone new in the chat. So, Brooke West, let me explain something to you, sweetheart. So, everyone on this panel has a different belief system. I, I go by Cece on this app. That is my nickname. However, the name of my business is collectively different. I choose to connect people who are collectively different to be able to not only express their opinions and their belief systems on their religion or lack thereof, but too many times people are spiritually bullied or just bullied in general for their belief system. So we're all here openly talking about what we all believe in. And I am also a advocate for religious trauma and spiritual abuse as a spiritual life coach. So you are in a safe space live where you are able to talk about your spiritual belief system and not be judged. So that is what this live is anytime I open up my live. Just in case you guys are new here. Um but go ahead, y'all. Sorry about that.
So yes, what I was saying is you have to create that safe space. And when you think about it, if something major was to happen in the world with everything going on now, and it gets to a point to where we all got to come together, do you think I would be standing next to the person thinking, oh, you believe in this, I don't want you beside me, especially if I know we got to fight together for an end goal? It makes no sense
What
to
is
me.
what's the one I don't know? Gnosticism?
I'm sorry.
Not Gnosticism, if that's what it's called, as opposed to agnosticism.
Yeah,
Gnostic versus
I can
agnostic. Yes,
yeah, I would
please.
suggest that it's complicated, and I would definitely look on Google, and there's a lot of information on Gnosticism and kind of describes it. I would definitely encourage you to research it on your own.
So no, she does not, and that's
No?
why I allow her on
Okay.
this platform because she helps to give a voice to those who are more so atheists and agnostic types of individuals, so people can have an understanding in the difference between a logical thinker and a person who thinks or believes in spirituality.
And I love that because, like I said, like in on the ocean, I'm, if you don't mind me calling you that, or
Yeah,
what
you,
do you prefer to
uh,
be called?
you can call me Ocean or you can call me D.
Yep, I think ocean
Oh,
sticks now. It's ocean.
yeah,
But
it
yeah,
does stick. Ocean. We have two
Open
completely
mind.
different thought processes, but if you notice, we agreed on some things. So that just
yeah.
goes to show, in every religion or whatever you want to call it that you may believe in, there will always be some point where you will connect with that person. It's always going to be something that's going to make you connect with that person. That's
And that's
why.
why I get on these lives like this is because a lot of times when I say that I'm atheist or agnostic atheist, people are it's almost the opposite. Well, it is the opposite of what a lot of people believe. And so they it's almost opposing to them. They almost have like a negative reaction to it. And there's a lot of mislabeling to it. A lot of people believe that I'm just living in chaos, that I can't be morally good, that I can't be a good person, that I must not, I must be going out there just like partying and hoeing and all do just being crazy, right? And I think it's really important to let people know. That's why I come up here is you can have a foundation and a way to live without spirituality. Spirituality doesn't have to define who you are as a moral person or what you're doing in the world. And I work, I work in animal rescue. I'm a vet tech in animal rescue. I'm naturally an activist. I speak up against CSA and religious organizations. Everything that I do within my life, I'm always advocating. That's who I am as a person. So a lot of people find that to be very strange when they find that out about me and then they find out that I'm an atheist. Well, how can you be an advocate and be an
Because we've
atheist?
been
So I
through it.
definitely,
We've been
yeah.
through it.
So I like to bring awareness to that is that it's not what you think, and you don't necessarily have to believe in a God to be a productive person.
So the person who was asking, and Ocean, you're definitely right, sweetie. And I thank you for even coming in and being a part of my community. I think when I first met Ocean, I actually met her in a live where the person who runs that live is, I think, is Kenny Satanist, or is he agnostic?
He's atheist.
He's atheist. Okay. So I was in
Yeah.
an atheist live with a couple of other atheists and some Satanists. And when I went into that live, I kind of told them the exact same thing that I'm telling you. I didn't tell them anything different. And that's, I believe that everyone should be okay with the fact that there is different religions and belief systems, and no one should push or force their religion or spiritual belief on others. And I don't like any type of bullying when it comes to it. And so that's kind of how I met Ocean.
And I'm glad y'all met.
We
Because again, we need conversations like this. We need
do.
to be able to stand together from different platforms or whatever, but all come together and say it's okay.
Do you think that a person can be simultaneously a logical thinker or existence and spiritual with a belief system? Who wants to answer that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And I
Lucky.
agree. I think you can because in some sense, like I said, for me, I have moments where I know my spirit is fighting with my flesh, and it all boils down to a choice. That's why I say in life, you have choices. We all have the power to make a choice. It's just on you to make a choice, whether it's from your spirit or whatever you believe in, or from a logic, or you just logically thinking, okay, this is it. This is what I need to do. It may not be the right thing to do, but you chose to do it. You chose
I
to
agree
do
with
it.
that.
If anyone would like to request up, you are more than welcome to.
I'm going to go ahead and bounce. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you letting me up here
Of
and
course.
to speak. I can talk a lot sometimes, and I appreciate everybody listening to me. And Donna, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you and everybody else.
Of
Thank you.
course,
You
of
Thanks for always
too.
course.
sharing.
Ocean, you know you're welcome anytime.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. It said, do you think a lot of born again Christians are brainwashed? So, Palma, the way that I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as possible without possibly being judgmental, right? Because I'm an ex-Christian, some of the things that I may say about Christianity can sound judgmental. Okay. And that's because I lived it and preached it and had to deal with it. So y'all forgive me, but I'm going to do it as respectfully as possible. I believe that Christians can be in a level of being brainwashed, and I believe that can happen in almost any religion. It's the way that people are indoctrinated. It's not just Christianity. It can be Catholicism. It could be the occult. A lot of people can be somewhat brainwashed or indoctrinated. Um, by the way that they're taught, by the way that their belief system tells them that this is the one and only way, and you are to spread this to the world, and save as many people as you can before you die. They kind of force them into a purpose without them even realizing, is this something I even really want to do? So I can say that there is a level of brainwashing.
And I totally agree with you. And I'm gonna take it a step forward. If I could be brutally honest, I'm gonna say yes. And the
I,
reason
you,
and the reason
I tried to say
the
it nice.
reason why I say yes is because a lot of times when people are going back to Christianity, they're going back out of a place of brokenness. Majority of the time, not all the time. I would say majority of the time, they're going either because they didn't have something major happen in their life, and at that point, they want some sort of comfort. They want some sort of hope or belief. And it also, I would say, is very important that we
Tap
look
the
at
screen,
when people
guys. Go ahead.
when people go back to Christianity and they're in that vulnerable state, you have to be careful of the leader. And that's pretty much in any religion. Be careful of the leader that you are sitting up under. That's why a lot of people hit it on the nail when they said educate yourself, learn for yourself, teach yourself. Because if you allow someone to come in and just put their thoughts and their impressions on you, and that's how you really have to think about it in any religion, they're pretty much telling you from the way that they perceive it. So educate yourself and know for yourself, and don't just do anything out of a place of brokenness.
Yeah.
And I would like to piggyback on that too. Um, the question of brainwashed, I would say I call it hypocrisy, because a man or a woman is yet but a man or a woman, and we are not infallible. We do have faults, and it does create um, a sense of direct
Community.
focus in some of the wrong areas. So at this point, what I'm saying is, I was basically, um, I walked at a distance from God for about 10 years because I lost my daughter. So I had a lot of anger, and it's not really ever been told to me in that particular faith system that it's okay to be angry with God. So I think the brainwash or the hypocrisy piece of it, um, it is true, and I've lived that life because um, you get to a point to where you feel like you can't speak your truth, and that's where the brainwash comes in to me.
Yeah. Most definitely. Because then you have like, so when I was born and raised in the church, it was a level of brainwashing, right? I turned about 14 years old and ended up back by 12. I ended up back by my father. Found out once I got back with my dad that he was a pastor. At 14, I remember my dad sitting me down. Now, this is a pastor, y'all. My dad sat me down at 14 years old and said, "Baby girl, I love you. And I preach the word of God, but I'm changing this church to non denominational." I said, "Why, Dad?" He said, "Because just just understand this. At 14 years old, he said, do your research." Now I'm looking at my dad sideways because I mean, at first we grew up Baptist. So I'm like, why is he telling me to do research when he teaches me the word? What is he trying to get? What does he want me to know? And my dad, and if there was one thing that I could take from him, he told me to do my research, to never just take no one's face value on anything, no matter especially spirituality, Christianity, whatever it is. And after doing my research for so many years from age 14 up until now at the age of 33, I've come to find out that there's so many differentials, and I like that there's so many differentials on so many different things, but at the same time, I don't believe in the bullying aspect of it. I don't believe in the deep indoctrination. And I'm thinking that Kat and both Donna, both of you went through indoctrination, and I don't think he did at all. And lacking, you didn't, correct?
No.
Okay. So see, everyone went through things kind of differently. Um, and I think that's what makes us unique.
And I'm gonna take it one step further. I will say that I was of the Baptist faith, um, and I've had conversations with Church of God. They believe they're the only ones getting into heaven. Both of these denominations within Christianity are within Christianity.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, this is with. I'm sorry. Did you
No,
say my
no, I
name?
said yeah. Go ahead. Sorry
Oh,
about that.
okay. No. So what I'm trying to say with that is any belief system is going to have some of those underlying things, but if something within the belief system and the core values of it, if the denomination starts pulling from that, and one saying that they're getting into heaven and the other one is not, then there's definitely a form of that brainwashing that goes even further. So Christianity as a whole might not necessarily be, but denomination in itself has a piece of that too.
Mm. I am. What would you say about the question that they asked in the comments about the Christianity or born again Christians being brainwashed? How do you feel about the fact that about that question?
Well, I think the question is pretty accurate. I wouldn't call it brainwashing, but I would call it programming.
Okay.
From yes, I'd call it programming, and specifically neural linguistic programming. So we have created labels and names for things, and we have added meaning to certain things. Like, for example, the US dollar is just basically print on paper, but we have given it value such that we see it as something that you can use as a social exchange. So uh, when I begin to see people wake up to this reality, I'm just saying to myself, it's just about time that people begin to lift the veil or of the illusions that society has created. Like, for example, even morality. Morality itself is a problem. It's a human construct that has been created and bottled into or branded into this thing called God, and then distributed through churches and other means, and then people now believe in this thing so much that they can even kill other people for it. Now, these ideas have served their purpose in the past. And we're not saying abash and abolish.
Right.
We're just basically saying those that are waking up now, we're saying there is a safe place where you can find others that are also nonconformists, that are free thinkers, that are nuns, that are agnostic, that are uh, maybe agnostic, and all those other things that are out there that create this commune or community, unus communis for like-minded people. I think this should be encouraged, and we should not even try to fight the opposing forces because uh, there is no opposing forces apart from the illusions that we create ourselves as enemies. So this is a game called life, and life is playing all of us. We are in a race against time, and time is also an illusion. It's basically just a mathematical construct that is used to measure change in the passage of events, and it's nothing but that. But we feel like it's out there and we have to race against it. So we live in an eternal now, and if we can only think about now and not about books that were written 2,000 years ago and books that will possibly be written in the future, we think about ourselves as the Eli, as the book, as the I am, as the story that needs to be rearranged. It might not be rewritten, but you can rearrange it. You can be able to rechannel your energies to the things that matter most, like a pursuit for love or happiness. I think that's what we all came here. So we came here for. So we should all just live a life that we'll all just die and leave to remember again.
Hmm.
So
Okay. I like the way you speak.
That was beautifully
And that
spoken.
was very
Thank you for
deep.
that.
That was very
I,
deep
I like
because I
I like the
remember.
way he says that, and I really like the way he says that, because basic one thing I'm gonna take out of what he said, and I'm gonna let you say what you was about to say. Um, he basically stated that all these different belief systems, if you notice, we are still yet like-minded people,
Yes,
and
that's
people.
what resonated with me as
Yeah,
well.
that resonated with me the most. Like, we are still yet like-minded people.
yes, we are united in our diversity.
That is exactly what
And
I'm
I
trying to
love
do.
that.
This is exactly why the name of my business is Collectively Different. That the way that you eloquently said that, I wish that I could take that and make that my.
Take it. It's the word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. And it's just basically just the word, this logos, creative order. What we speak into existence, that which we will. Whatever it is, if there's anything that we should just all desire to do is speak life. That's all.
And I love that. That's beautiful. That needs to be on a t-shirt.
See,
Miss Donna keeps saying that. We can make it
cat,
happen.
he's look. We gonna put some stuff on t-shirts. Stop playing. It's gonna be a whole movement
No,
because
but that needs to be. I'm sorry.
no, no, no.
That needs to
You
be on a
good?
t-shirt for real. And I say I love the part where he was saying we're racing against time and all that matters is what we're doing now, before we die. Because when you think about it, you have that clear date that you're born. That's never going away. And then you're going to have that clear date on your tombstone of when you die. That's going to forever be there. But that little dash in between is everything you did leading from your birth to your death is what really matters. What impact did you have? And
I
on
had a
and on
lady.
that tombstone, it's not going to say, "Oh, she was a Christian," or "Oh, she was a
Hmm.
Satanist," or "Oh, she was a Muslim." It's not going to say none of that.
None of it.
It's just going to say born and died.
And I had a lady tell me the other day something, and I've got it wrote down on a sticky note. It takes a lifetime to learn how to live.
It does. And one of the reasons why it takes a lifetime to learn how to live is because when we're born into the world, right? Those who believe in like spirituality, when we're born into the world, we're born ignorant and we learn as we grow, right? So we're born as babies. We're learning everything that we already knew previously, those who believe in reincarnation or whatever, right? Because some people believe differently. And we learn as we get older, and you'll notice in time when you do your research upon the way that people learn their path, a lot of people don't start learning their specific path in life until well into their like end of their 20s into the 30s, right? And so once you get into like the middle portion of your life, people start to question, what is my purpose? Where do I fit in life? Because I feel like I'm meant for something bigger. Or I feel like I'm meant to do something bigger or help others or whatever. And people start to think about what their purpose could be and how they make an effect on the world or on creation in general. And I think when that starts to happen to people and they start to wake up and they start to research and they start to figure out where they fit in, even Ocean, you know what I mean? She has her purpose. She doesn't believe in anything as a atheist, but look at what she does. She's an advocate for different things. You see what I mean? So everybody has a purpose, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a spiritual one.
Right, because what I
100%
feel
that.
like she always
Would you
brings
say lacking?
to, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said I feel that.
What I
Yes, I resonate.
appreciate, go ahead.
We
Just
all
some
have the
days.
purpose, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a spiritual purpose. If anything, I am a firm believer that life has no purpose apart from that which we create as our own purpose.
There
So
you
when
go.
we come to life, our goal is basically to persist through space time, and that is to exist. So we have two parts of our brain, which is we have the reptilian brain, which is really at the bottom, the lowest part of our being. And then we have on top of that now the crown, which is the brain that we see as the brain, the human brain. That's just a crown over the reptilian brain. So if that had to die, the body would have to find a way to survive. And that's why we can live without breathing consciously, without saying breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. It just happens. So we need to be conscious and aware of the fact that each and every one of us has life inside of us, including plants. They have life. We have life. We just are able to perceive our life a little more differently than the plants are perceiving their lives. We are able to perceive our lives because we've got extra sensory perception organs that are extended, like our hands and our fingers and all that. But the being that we are, that we can ultimately be, this entire body is just like a finger to that being that we can ultimately be. The entire body is just like a finger. We can be greater than that. And we know it deep down in our hearts that we can be greater than that because we didn't swim among 100 billion others just to come and be unthinking pieces of meat. We came here to win. And that's why we had to be the first to enter that egg. We all started out as semen, just information, binary information, just a tiny memory of how to exist. And that is what we are here to do, to exist. But over and beyond that, we're here to just love and serve others. And if there's no other purpose that one can find, at least they can just try and love and serve others. If we can't all be rock stars, we can't be TikTok uh, celebrities and celebrities and Insta celebs, but we can all at least leave an impact on this world. Just create this memory
That's the objective. That is definitely the
that,
objective.
yeah,
Yes,
just let's leave a
and
mark. Let's just create a memory that others can come
mhm.
back and look at and quote us like they would quote the greats, the other greats.
You're exactly right. And what I have taken from the Gnostic that resonated with me is the core logic, and I keep hearing love, or I keep seeing love. I keep seeing no judgment. Um, so those are things that, not being of that belief system, that resonate with me. Finding the logical in it, but also still recognizing the love within it. So I really appreciate you.
Most definitely,
Thank
most
you for
definitely.
all that I.
Listen, I appreciate everyone who came here tonight. Um, um, Trust me, I will have these conversations on different topics about spirituality. There's a lot of different people on this app who already talk about everything else. And so I will be having these topics often on this app, and some of them will be different. Some of them will be about other things. However, I believe these topics are extremely important because we tend to run across people like Mr. I Am. If we would have stayed in other types of lives where people are kind of bullying people, we would have never gotten a chance to hear people like I am, and the Satanists that I'm friends with, and the atheists, and Mr. Lacking Green, who is a little bit of some of everything that he feels like he wants to be a part of. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we get a chance to really hear everybody's differences and why they're the way that they are, or where it came from, or how they researched it. And I think this is an extremely important way for everyone to really learn, and get to know each other and get to see the beauty in being different. And that's the whole point of these types of conversations.
And I love it. And thank you for having me on.
Of
It was
course.
nice to meet all of y'all. And
You
I
as well,
definitely
Miss
will be
Donna.
joining again.
Of course. Listen, you can join anytime. Listen, these conversations are extremely important. If y'all happen to catch, our friend requested everyone, if y'all happen to catch any lives where people are spiritually bullying people, please tag me over. I am willing to go and talk in those lives.
And that's what made me join your live because I actually was in that live for a minute and I was going to join. I said, but you know what? My mouth may be a little too disrespectful to join that live because I feel like we're all just a community of people. Yeah, we all have different beliefs, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's all about love, like Mr. I am said. It's all about knowing yourself and what you choose to believe in and what you choose to do. Nobody can judge you for that. And I just think this was beautiful and I appreciate it so much. You all were a
No problem,
blessing
Donna.
and,
Does
and I,
any
I learned a
As
lot.
will you.
Does anyone else want to join? Listen, tag me constantly, because I don't like when people are bullying because of a different belief system. I came from Christianity, and they bully me. My girls are always blocking people when I'm doing readings for people. And they bully me and they tell me, oh, you're lost and you're this and you're that. And they try to come in with their extras when I'm really helping people. And my girls don't like it. They don't like it at all, because I don't go in other people's lives bullying. When I do go in there, I tell them exactly what I tell everyone else. There's over 4,000 religions. No one is to say which one is the correct right way. We should allow people to have their belief systems unless they're morally hurting or mistreating people. um and we should all be able to learn.
And what's
You're
great
forever
is,
learning until you
um,
die.
exactly. And what's great is Cece's girls were all uniquely different as well.
Hmm.
Or should I say collectively different?
Yes, you are.
Hmm.
And no one who follows me even follows everything that I do. I feel connected to, more so the Egyptian religion based system, and things of that nature. I'm connected to spirituality. I'm connected to a few different things that I choose to believe in. Kat, she's a medium. One of my other girls, she's something else. Like
What did I tell you about
everybody's
saying that?
different. Well, she's Christian and she's a medium. Um, so everybody's
Oh no,
different.
I'm just saying you keep putting it out there. Don't be telling people that yet. I'm not ready.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
not gonna tell everybody. I'm sorry. I'm
Love
sorry.
you. All right.
What I'm basically saying is it's okay for everybody to be different, and I will continue to have these lives until we can make it a mass movement where people can respect each other's belief system, and allow each other to really, because people are getting tired of the bullying. I see it. They're definitely getting tired of the bullying. I see it all over. Um, and so I want us to be able to come together as a collectively different type of individuals who are able to get along and able to respect each other's belief system. And I hope that we can end up making a huge movement out of it. So that's why we have these lives. Lacking. Did you have anything else you wanted to say? And then Kat, and then of course after Kat, I am. If you have anything else to say, we'll close out with you unless someone else wants to join.
Uh,
All right.
come back to me.
Hold on, I am lacking. What were you saying?
I was saying, just get back to me.
Okay, okay, Kat.
I'm gonna pass for the time being.
Okay, Kat.
And um, I want everybody to know that just a couple of months ago, I didn't even know Cece. I actually found her on this platform, um, and the direction that my life has taken just in the short period of time over the last few months that Cece has known me is proof to anybody that is doubting that they don't have a greater purpose out there. Um, I wouldn't have known some of the things I know if I wasn't willing to shut my mouth and open my ears. So, what I would encourage, whatever your faith system is that isn't within the sound of my voice, please don't tear anybody else down. We are beautiful souls. We are uniquely identifiably our own. And if you're tearing people down, you're tearing yourself down with them. So that's what I'm gonna leave it with.
Okay, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I like that. Lacking.
What What is something you personally find morally reprehensible that just about everybody does and knows they shouldn't?
Um, I'm not sure.
Pretty much everything, right?
Say that again.
So pretty much everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, think I'm good.
Okay.
No one's wants to explain what Gnosticism is.
No.
That's fine.
No.
Lacking, I think that you actually might resonate with that. I mean, not just that I'm trying to put it on you,
No,
but
I get it.
just in what
Uh,
I've
I'm
heard and what
just
I've
busting
picked
your
up
chops,
from
though.
you. No, I'm saying I think you might resonate with that. I would encourage you to reach out to I am and D.
I appreciate the source.
I appreciate you being here because lacking, I don't think you have even chosen what you necessarily resonate with. And it's okay if you don't choose what you resonate with, but it sounds like with some of the things that you say that you do resonate with what she was saying. Um,
Some things. That's
yeah.
what I mean. It's like, I don't. I do what I feel is right at the time. And I think that's biological, not taught.
Okay.
And I have heard it for a lot. And actually, this lovely lady in the box beside me has said it before. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest.
Eat the meat and throw away the bone. That's what they used to say where I'm
You
from in
got
New
it.
Orleans. Um, so take what works for you. And that doesn't mean, and I've had some Christians try it. Oh, so I mean, if they feel like killing people, and they feel like doing this, and they feel like doing that, and that resonates with them, we're supposed to allow it. That is not what I be trying to say. They be trying it. I'm talking
Yeah,
about what's morally right and what genuinely resonates with you and works with you, as long as you're not hurting, harming, or mistreating someone. um hey, have your way.
fuck yeah. Oh, sorry.
I am.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, I am.
yeah, I agree with that, and I believe that we are all free to do that which we will, as long as it's not at the expense of another. So do that which you will, as long as it's not at the expense of another. And then also we need to understand that everything is permissible, but not everything is acceptable. So everything is permissible, but not everything is acceptable. So we
Mm.
must be able to just do that which we must at every given time, especially in the now. It's in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you have, say, problems, you will begin to navigate through them differently without experiencing the problem itself. It becomes like part of your ecosystem, like part of your being, to be able to navigate through that. So one thing that I would encourage each and every one of us that are listening in this room is to keep your life private, because the future is private. The less people know about you, the less likely they are to hurt you. And that's why I come as a nonconformist, as a non, as a free thinker, and I don't accept any label. Because the moment I say one label or another, then people begin to fit me into this tiny box
Box.
that they can now constantly keep hammering with a hammer. And it will make me very uncomfortable. But when I stay as a seed that I am, just a seed of truth, I am here to just litter different seeds indiscriminately. I leave my seed everywhere. Some ground is good, some is not good, some is rocky ground, some is thorny ground, but I leave my seeds anyway. I just leave them there. So I make sure that even as I leave my seed, people know the least about me. And that's why I am that I am. I'm just information.
You know,
So each and every
I'm
one
gonna
of
steal
you for the
that.
future.
I'm gonna steal that. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You just made me realize something. What he just said is the reason why I
Yes,
don't
go
like telling my belief system. Because you don't need to know anything about me, in its entirety.
yes,
I'm gonna steal that, and I'm going to, if people ask, of course I'll tell them a little bit of here and there, but I like what he just said, and I'm taking that. It's y'all gonna hear me saying it from this point. Like I don't fit under a particular box or title. You're gonna hear me saying it because I got it from him, so y'all can mark it on the calendar. I wasn't saying it until today, but
yes,
I'm gonna say it.
yes. We all don't come with labels, you know. When we're born, we come with no labels, but the first thing that happens is that we're given a name. We're labeled. It's by others. It's not. That's not an act of free will. So free will is an illusion, because from the very beginning, when we start out, we a decision is
Hey,
made on our
I'm
behalf.
sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I gotta get headed. Just wanted to say it's been lovely chatting with you, lovely people. Um,
And you as
we'll
well.
be being lovely tomorrow, right?
Yes, yes. Listen, it was awesome talking with you, sweetheart. And you're welcome anytime. I tend to have conversations about 3 times a week outside of my lives where I'm doing readings for people. So yeah, I have conversations often. You're welcome anytime, honey.
Aw, share the love.
Of course, of course.
All right, everybody. You
Mm,
have a pleasant evening.
yes,
And
yes.
before
I'm
I
seeing you.
am starts,
All right.
you as
Have a
well,
lovely
Martin.
evening.
Before I am says anything else, you had a couple that said, I think Sabrina had said she's back. If you're still
Yes, I'm
accepting
getting
people to come in the box,
I'll go ahead
okay.
and I'll go ahead and let them in, and then that'll be the last one, and I'm gonna let Mr. I am finish out because baby, I like the way he talks. Stop playing. um Hi, how are you, honey?
Hello, beautiful people. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you,
Houten
honey?
Morena gonna second.
Would you say I am?
I said Houten Morena guna sekran. That's in the language that I created.
Oh,
Okay,
you
stop
created your
playing.
own language.
Okay. Your
Yes.
favorite Sabrina, how are you? What is well, number one, the conversation was about, is spirituality a bootleg Christianity, and what is your belief
Yes.
system?
Oh, Oh, I've been on your past lives, so you probably know already.
I know already.
Okay, so I believe in well, I believe in a lot of things because I practice occult and witchcraft. Well, I believe all the gods, all the spirits, and all the goddesses exist, and heaven, hell, and other astral realms of different pantheons exist too. Yeah, and you can access all of them. So I actually have an insight, a spiritual insight for you about Christianity and other um, religions.
Okay.
So I had yesterday a dream, but it was like a visionary, more of a visionary than a dream. So I was there in my dream, me and a few people collecting things for the curse work. So we had to collect a few things for a curse. And we already collected a few things, and one person has left. He couldn't keep going. So it's only me and one guy left. So we did all the work, and then the spirit came, a dark entity, kind of a demonic thing. And the guy just ran away. What I did, I just stood and faced what was coming, because I know that when you do thing, you have to finish it. You have to face what you're doing. And what happened next, that entity didn't harm me or hurt me in any kind of way. It just was pleased with the fact that people like me, like you, and other practitioners, they face what they do, and they're not afraid of the darkness.
Okay.
When other people, such as I actually have a feeling that the way how Christianity was created is that when they tried to use darkness for their own goods, it backfired because darkness doesn't like being used. So I think the way people perceive darkness in a way of usage, but not in the way of understanding it.
Okay. And where are you from
Yeah.
again? I talked to so many
Oh.
people, but I remember
Oh yeah.
you.
I'm from Ukraine.
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 Got you. Got you.
Slavic.
So you see how we
Yes.
have people with different belief systems in here. Like he practices the occult. He also believes in putting hexes on people, but he does not believe in putting hexes on you if you have not already hexed someone. So if you've hexed him, he believes in hexing you back. So basically, like being the karma.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I believe in balance.
yeah. So, Kat, you see how many different types of people we end up with in our lives?
Yes, and I was listening to what he was saying, and it's very similar to some others that we have seen in here in the past. Um, the belief system, that is.
Um, so this is what I'm gonna do because it's getting late and it's time for me to get ready to head to bed for my self-care day on tomorrow. I will not be in no live on Sunday. I gotta meditate, read my
You
3
already
books
are.
and everything.
It's 12:35 of your time. You
Y-
already are. Mm.
Yes. I would like for you to say a close out statement and we gonna close out. Cause see, I love the way you talk. You can come in anytime.
All right. I'll just say this simple thing. We are one. So the oneness of consciousness is what we're heading to, singularity, where we will all begin to just live as beings that we are, and we are beings of light, beings of life, and beings of love. So if there's anything that we can be, is to be our most truest self, which is to be either our divine feminine or divine masculine self. We are gods because we were created in the image and in the likeness of the Supreme One. So there is no belief without All that believe must believe without proof. And that is the idea of belief. And that belief system, we must not impose it on other people because it's out of belief. And those that want to prove through logic, memory, or arithmetic are also free to do as they will. So ultimately, we must remember to do that which we will, as long as it's not at the expense of another. That's all I can say.
Ooh, y'all, I love these lives. We gonna continue them. It, if y'all heard what he said, there was so much to take away from what he said. The only thing that I can add to that is I believe in the balance of light and dark. That's me. That's the only thing I would add to that. Understand the light and understand the dark, but yet do what he said. Do what he said. Don't force your beliefs on another. It's so amazing to run across these types of people in the lives. Did anyone else want to say anything else in the comments? If not, I am going to close this out. Those of you all who follow me and you follow my YouTube, every discussion is put on my YouTube. When I wake up in the morning, I will upload these discussions right to YouTube, part one and part two. They will all be there. Every reading that I do, they're all on YouTube. Um, so most definitely, if you're not following it, click the link in my bio, and you can follow my YouTube and any of my social media. And always, hey, I'm always here for you if you need help. Reach out to me. Follow every one of these people here who was a part of the live, because they're always in some amazing conversations. And you guys enjoy the rest of your night and or morning. Peace and blessings unto you. Okay? Bye.
Good evening.
Mm, mm.